decay. How can anybody be surprised it turned out this way? Yeah, it's been planned, it's an inside job. So many movers and shakers are supporting the mob. Well, the skyline is starting to show the strain. Don't blame climate change for being this way. You know and I know it's a dark evil scheme, but they'll reap the whirlwind like that never seen.
Hey, how you doing out there? This is Bob on Bob's Blues in the News, coming to you directly from Atlanta, Georgia. A little song called Tyrannical Blues. There's still tyranny in the world, you know. So, yeah, I'm sorry. I haven't been away for a couple of days. I haven't been doing my podcast. When was the last time I did it? I think it was Thursday. Today's Monday. So I took a little short vacation, actually. I went down to Florida, drove down there because airfare is so expensive today, you know? And really, driving to Florida from Atlanta is not that bad. It takes about 9-10 hours, but if the weather is not bad and the traffic is not bad, it's pretty straight, you know? So you just crank up the tunes, put it on cruise control, and, you know, drink a couple cups of coffee and you'll be okay. But Thursday night, leaving here, it was a downpour, and it went on for like 5 hours while I was driving. And plus, there was a big wreck on the highway with a semi-truck turned over, so that slowed me down a couple hours. So I ended up sleeping in Valdosta and made the rest of the journey Friday morning. And it was nice to get down there. The weather was nice in Florida for the most part, and my wife had to work this morning, so we got back last night at 12 o'clock. So it was a short trip to see my son and his family down there. But anyway, that's why I didn't do my podcast. But it gave me driving like that gives me a chance to think. I can, you know, ponder a lot while I'm driving. There's not much else to do but listen to the radio and watch the traffic. But, you know, you can exercise your mind during that time, and some good ideas come out, some reflection of what's going on in the world. Of course, you listen to the news as well, and it's positive and negative out there, you know, which is typically the case. I mean, the stock market is still up, so that's positive. But it's up because Trump keeps on saying he's got a deal in Iran when he really doesn't. And they're looking like a fool, if you ask me. They're being played for sure. But the stock market likes it because the stock market doesn't like war, you know. So most of the people in the stock market who are making plenty of money right now don't want war. They want to appease the Iranians. They want peace at any cost because it does bring down the oil prices, right? So if J.D. Vance goes over there in Switzerland and everybody ignores him and makes him look like a fool, that's okay. The oil prices are still down and the stock market is still up. But in the long term, it's going to be said in the history books, Trump's been bamboozled. Now, if he changes his mind about things and realizes the only way to deal, I know it's a hard story. It's a tough one because Iran is a big country. Iran has a lot of ethnic groups. The Iranians themselves are not armed, so they really can't rise up, even though the majority of the people in Iran probably hate the mullahs and the IRGC. But every time they go out, they get shot and killed. So and Trump is not going to put troops on the ground. I mean, he could knock out everything. He could knock out all their infrastructure, knock out the bridges, knock out the oil fields, take over totally the Strait of Hormuz, which he should have done probably right at the beginning, because that's the big question is oil prices. Well, everybody's concerned about oil prices. But, of course, if he does that, if he levels the Iranian civilization, then, the next administration, the next regime that comes back, hopefully it's a democracy. Hopefully they believe in Western civilization and not crazies. But anyway, they'll have a hard time building back what was destroyed. So, and Trump is trying to play the Venezuela idea, where you knock out the top leaders, and then the second tier, or the third tier in this case, comes around and they're more reasonable. But even though Trump says they're more reasonable, they're not. They're all made of the same clay, which is the jihadist, Islamist, end of the world theme, but bringing the 12th Imam back, the Mahdi, who's supposed to still be alive, by the way. And that's their own purpose, the only purpose they have. In order to do that, they have to kill everybody else. So by talking to the third tiers of leaders, you're not going to take away that ideology. You can go down to the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh, keep on going until there's one left. But they all have that same ideology if they're part of the Shia jihadist mentality. And the only solution is to totally annihilate it, which is a hard thing to do, even with the most powerful country on earth, being the United States, and is Israel as well, the support of Israel, which is also a formidable force and fantastic army, the IDF. But you have to, and they're in holes, like they like to dig holes. They're rats. Same way as the thing that happened in Gaza and now in South Lebanon with, the terrorists in Lebanon. They dig holes, and they like to live in those holes. And they probably stored a lot of their weapons deep down. And even though Trump's got the B-2s, they can't go but so far down, They can't just totally destroy a mountain. So we don't know how much weapons they still have. And they are being supported by China, by, Russia, by all the bad guys. And by Qatar and Pakistan, who's supposed to be making the peace deal. We'll forget about that. That's ridiculous. So it's not an easy war, but they went about it the wrong way. I mean, I'll give Trump credit. He's done more than anybody else has done. And he has kicked butt to a certain extent. I mean, he has basically annihilated that, army and their Navy and their Air Force. But they still got rifles. They still got drones. They still got missiles. And they still have that ideology. And they will do anything for that ideology. They're trying to assassinate Trump now. The Secret Service is picking up Iranians right now in the United States, trying to do harm. So this war is going to continue. Ceasefire, whatever you want to call it. The can is going to be kicked down the road again. And it's probably going to be Israel who finally does what needs to be done. I mean, they're fighting Hezbollah. Hezbollah is firing rockets at them all the time. It's so much diplomacy, rhetoric, a lot of tensions between people. There's people in the Republican Party who think are more isolationists and think we should make peace at any price. Where the more hardliners, realize that the bad guys have to be totally destroyed, like we totally destroyed Hitler. Of course, it took us 4 or 5 years to do that, right, with Hitler. And Iran doesn't have the same weaponry and organization and power that Nazi Germany has, but they do have an ideology that is unbreakable. You can say, well, the Nazis had an ideology that was unbreakable. Well, I don't know. They were more pliable. These guys don't live in our reality whatsoever. And Trump is trying to bring him into our way of thinking, and they just don't think the way we think. They don't act the way we think. They don't believe what we think. And that's why they're looking like a fool. And they know so well how to play Trump. So when Israel is trying to defend itself against Hezbollah, Iran is using that as an excuse to break the ceasefire because, look, Israel is attacking our supporters in Iran and in Lebanon when it's all a setup. They're being set up. Now, Trump, he comes back and he says, well, I'm going to assassinate these guys. And it's really Hezbollah who's causing the problem. after he's been made to look like a fool. And they're still talking. They still want talk because Wall Street wants to talk. The oil prices wants them to talk, and the isolationists here want them to talk. J.D. Vance wants them to talk, and he's trying to talk, but they're insulting him at the same time he's being played. But they won't admit it, and I think they've been foolish, even though there's a lot of good I could say about Trump and what he's done in the past. I think this is his Achilles heel with Iran. Now, it's not finished, and I shouldn't even worry about it. I should just go and watch the soccer games because that's positive. I mean, you realize the soccer games are very positive, and it takes people away from watching the news, which is a good thing, in my opinion. My son is telling me, I can't take it anymore. I want to start watching soccer. And so watch more soccer games and less news, I think is a good idea. But the Iran story is not going to go away anytime soon. And I'm afraid we're just kicking the can down the road, being played. And, we'll pay the price for it later. I mean, I just feel like we let down the Iranians. We let down Israel. This last criticism of Israel from the administration. J.D. Vance, well, you know what side he's on, right? I mean, he's friends with Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly and Steve Bannon. Those people who are not very sympathetic to Israel. But Israel's really the center of the story, right? Israel, because it's all about the Jews in the end. So it's going to be the Jews in Israel that finishes the job one way or another. And I can't do it totally without American support. I mean, some Israelis say, let's just cut off relations altogether with the United States. Nah, it ain't going to work. They're not that powerful, even though they got God on their side. And miracles do happen. There, it's true. And I don't think the United States is meant to break away totally from Israel. They are too much, they think too much alike, they're too much in common. They believe in those Western Judeo-Christian principles that's made this country so great, and that's made Israel so great. A belief in one God, a belief in democracy and freedom, free enterprise, free speech, but there are a lot of forces at play. And it makes your head spin, But at the same time, you got to stay sane. And I keep on saying you got to keep the faith because there is a divine plan that nobody really thinks about. So I think we need to get more spiritual in order to get through this complexity. And of course, we could talk about AI. I saw, the economy is being pushed by all this new technology, by AI, etc. And so everything's at flux. Everything's in flux. I guess this is the right expression. But the only thing that's solid, the only thing that's absolute is God himself. Remember that. So anyway, this is Bob on Bob's Blues and the News. And hey, I'll see you next time.